Good evening. My name is Tammy Severino, and I'm the Director of Development and Marketing and the consultant to La Fuerza CDC, which is presenting this program to the Port Washington Public Library as part of a series on marketing for small businesses. We're going to be discussing this evening how to best start and execute a marketing plan for your small business. I would ask that everybody please mute themselves during the program. You can pop any questions you have into the chat at the bottom. And then after the presentation, there'll be plenty of time for questions and answers. You can take yourself off mute and ask. Or if you are more comfortable, I'll have my contact information for you to reach out if your questions are very specific to your business, and it would be more comfortable for you to do that offline. So with that, I am going to share my screen. Bring up tonight's program, creating a marketing plan for your small business. So for those of you who have taken any of my other classes, you do know that I always like to start with a definition. So just to make sure that everybody is on the same page, a marketing plan is a document that will outline your company or business's specific marketing strategy. It's going to include your business goals, tangible actions that your business is going to take to achieve those goals, and what the anticipated results will look like. If you think of this as being a roadmap for your business, it's a good way to visualize it. It's going to be the roadmap that your business is going to use to execute different marketing tactics and to measure the results of each one and of your marketing overall within a particular window of time. So the purpose of the plan, and it's important to understand why, otherwise why would you move it forward, is to understand that your plan is working in conjunction with your overall business plan. So your overall business plan is considering every piece of your business's operations and actions, and the marketing plan works in conjunction with that plan. It's a map for the actions you'll take, the strategies, your advertising efforts, and the campaigns that you're going to use to promote your products, your services, as well as the business overall. So your marketing plan is designed to help you take ideas that you have and think, oh, this would be a good idea for the business to help it be better known, to help sell a particular product better, and actually turn it into actionable items. And the most critical piece of the plan is for it to help you keep your marketing efforts on track by defining your goals and objectives and helping you to measure to determine if each one and overall you are successful in this effort. So before you begin writing your plan, there are some things that you should do, sort of preliminary steps. So whether you are developing a plan that is for a business that's been around for quite some time, or this is a new venture that you're undertaking, there are some defining questions that are important to ask yourself. Start with the definition of your company and the products or services that you offer. I am a very big proponent of writing things down, because as you do, you commit certain things to memory, you modify, you tweak. So write down that definition of your business, the definition of all of the products or services that you offer, and consider all of the strengths and weaknesses you have as the business owner for that business. You also want to list all of your business opportunities for the company as well as for individual products or services. Those may be active opportunities that are available to you. They're in front of you right now, this day, this moment, or they are ones that you might foresee 6 months, a year, a couple of years down the road. You want to list any outside or internal challenges anticipated. So external challenges are things going on in the marketplace, in the community, in the nation, in the world. Internal are the things that are within your actual business. And write or rewrite your mission statement. Nonprofits are trained, you have to start with a mission statement. It's your business's purpose. It's the organization's purpose. As a business owner, you want to also have a purpose. So, and that can be a local deli offering the finest meats, and a friendly place to stop for lunch, breakfast. You will write it. It's usually short, 2, 3 sentences at the most. But it is important to ensure that your business has a mission and that you're using tactics that are in sync with that mission. So, for example, if you were a nonprofit and you were doing work related to cancer, you wouldn't necessarily want to have a sponsor of that of an event that you're doing that's in the cigarette industry. It's not in sync. They don't work together well. So when you're thinking of the type of business mission that you have, you want to think of the tactics and the products and services that you have that are in tune with that mission. So there are more questions to consider. So let's look at some of those, starting with who are your customers. And it is a critical thing to know who your customers are. What's your target market? And be as specific as you possibly can be, because then you want to know about and understand your demographic. So if it's a local deli, you may have a certain area that you attract business from. If there are local businesses in the area that are feeding people coming into you for breakfast, for lunch, people who live in the community, but maybe people don't travel more than 10 or 15 miles to come to your deli. Maybe it's less than that, maybe it's 2 miles. So those are the type of demographic details that you're trying to hone in on. If you are an accountant, you might have clients that are farther and wider, but they're folks who might be business owners or individuals, depending on which types of services you offer as an accountant. So here you want to think of, where do they visit or frequent online, your customers or your potential customers? What are their interests? What are their personal or professional goals? And think about other questions, other relevant questions that are specific to what type of business you have. And that specificity is really going to help you. And whether you're dealing with an insurance broker or an ice cream parlor and everybody in between, every business has its own unique characteristics and qualities that you use to attract your patrons, your customers, your clients. So think of each of those as you try to define your customer base and your desired customer base. As much as you need to consider your customers, you also need to consider your competition. So think about what your competitors offer and how they're marketing it out into the marketplace. Are they doing something that might inspire the marketing plan for your business? And is your competition marketing in ways that's inspiring fresh ideas or help you to see ways that you can tweak your own strategy? You want to keep tabs on your competition now. In the future, your competitors may change, but you should still be assessing who they are, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. It's also a very good way for you to assess price point. For example, if you are selling the same product as one of your competitors, but they're selling it at a much higher price point, you have to consider whether or not you're selling yourself short. If you're selling it for a much higher price point than they are, you have to assess, are you moving product as quickly as you ought to be, or are you overpricing yourself? So it will help you to ensure that you're pricing properly within the marketplace. Then you have to consider what your unique business proposition is. In some places, it's called the unique selling proposition, and it's designed to help you determine what makes your business special, unique, different. So your unique business or selling proposition describes your competitive edge in the marketplace through a couple of different benefits offered to customers, whether you're delivering lower prices, if you are providing better customer service. People will sometimes pay more to have better customer service. Or are you selling a better widget? So if you're selling the same thing, but you're selling a more superior quality of that product, or maybe you're selling something unique that nobody else has. So those are the types of things that help to determine what is unique in your business proposition or selling proposition for your customers and potential customers. So, what it's helping you to do is to define why a customer would choose your business over any other available options. People have a lot of places they can shop. So, what makes you unique? And it's something that once you identify what is unique, you can accentuate that in your marketing efforts. The next thing you need to do is set goals or objectives for your marketing efforts. You cannot assess success if you had no goals. So your marketing objectives are kind of like mini goals. Your marketing plan is going to define the steps that you must take to achieve each mini goal. Every marketing plan should have several objectives. And further, a proper plan is going to be accompanied by market data supporting the initiatives that you're proposing. So if you're proposing, let's say you're a restaurant and you are proposing adding curbside delivery. Why? Because curbside delivery, as of 2020, became one of the fastest growing avenues for restaurants to still be in front of customers, even when diners could not come sit indoors. And perhaps there's an article that shows that it is expected to be an avenue by which restaurants can increase the number of meals that they are providing by X%. So those types of data are going to be important in justifying why any given initiative should be undertaken. So here are some sample objectives you might want to include. Perhaps you want to introduce new products. You want to boost sales from a particular product that you're carrying, or a certain market or a certain price range. So you want to be specific about where that business is going to come from. You want to enter into long-term contracts with very desirable clients. Maybe you have you want to target a couple of large-scale clients. And so entering into 3 new contracts with large-scale clients, that could be an objective. You want to raise your prices without cutting into your sales figures, meaning if you're selling an item for $1, and that allows you to make 50 cents on each of those items, perhaps you want to raise your price to $1.10. It allows you a larger profit margin, but you want to be able to increase that price without reducing the number of items sold. Perhaps you want to enhance the manufacturing or product delivery that you're getting. So it might mean that you're shaving money off the manufacturing piece of it so that your cost is a little bit lower. And so to do that, you're going to look at different manufacturing options, or your delivery. So maybe you're going to enhance the system by which you get your deliveries done, or perhaps you're taking delivery at a different interval so that it will save you money. You want to increase your market share by 10% before the end of the year. That's a great goal. A great objective, rather. You want to grow a mailing list by 20%. You have 1,000 people on your mailing list. You want to increase it by 20%. That will give you more target people to be in front of when you're sending out information. You want to expand into 2 new geographical areas, particularly if you're, you have a little bit of wiggle room on where you might be able to reach. Or you want to expand the awareness of your business's name. If people don't know who you are, they can't do business with you. So you want to increase your overall awareness. So goal setting, some additional thoughts for you to consider. Have deadlines for each goal. If it's a rolling deadline, you're going to push it to the back. It's psychology. It's proven. People operate based on deadlines. Have them. Second is make the goals realistic and as specific as possible, both your short-term goals and your long-term goals. Your marketing plan is going to support the goals that you're setting. Your marketing plan should also include measurements for each goal. So whether it's a 10% increase or increase by 3 client contracts, whatever that is. Consider your time frame and the budget you have or that you're willing to invest into this particular marketing campaign or plan, because there are dollars and there is sweat equity and there are things that you're going to have to commit to make this successful. So how much of it, from all ends, time, money, etc., are you going to be able to invest into executing this? And can you commit to your own marketing efforts, or do you need help? If it's not your sweet spot and you're not sure that you could actually pull this off on your own, would you invest into having a professional come and do some of these things for you, maybe in measured time, so that you have the dollars to make it happen? Or is it something that you are determined you're going to learn how to do and you're going to do it yourself? So then you get down to actually writing your marketing plan. These are the things you need to include in your marketing plan, and we'll go through each one of them. You're going to have an executive summary. You're going to have a business description. You're going to do what's called a situation analysis. You will have your marketing goals and business objectives. You're going to have your target market and your delivery plan. You're going to have your unique selling proposition and the tactics that you're going to deploy. You're going to have messaging guidelines, a budget, and tracking and evaluation. Now, to look at that, that is a lot. If you have prepared a business plan, some of these things are in your plan, but you are going to write this where it is customized specifically to your marketing. And you know that writing your business plan took quite a bit of effort. It was not a, sit down and write it for an hour and you're done. This is truly an investment of time, because it's going to help you to define what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, how much it's going to cost, and how you're going to measure it to see if you were successful. And at the end of the day, this whole plan with all of these components should help move you towards success. So let's start with the executive summary. The executive summary is the very first part of the plan. And when you get past your cover, it's the first section. It is a high-level summary of everything in the sections and pages that follow. And it is critical that this gets written last. It's as though you read all the other parts and summarize it, but your summary, instead of going at the end, it goes right up front. If someone else was going to consider investing in you or wanted to look at this to see if how they could play a part in your marketing plan, they will often read the executive summary rather than reading all of the details. That is a critical component. Then you have the business description.
Tammy, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You were breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, so I'll start with the executive summary again. I don't know where I fuzzed out. So the executive summary is a high-level summary of everything in the plan pages following that section. So when someone opens up your marketing plan, the very first section is the executive summary. It's as though they read everything else and it gets summarized into one section. But the executive summary is not getting tacked onto the back end. It's actually at the very front end. Your business plan should have followed the same format, and it allows someone who is looking at your plan, they should be able to read that and have a high-level understanding of everything that's going to follow. It is immediately followed by the business description. This is everything the business is about. So it's going to include your location, who the owners are, your position in the marketplace. The mission statement we spoke of would go in there, and you may likely include your core values for the business. So if customer service and transparency are core values for your business, that would go in there. And any external factors currently impacting or that may eventually impact the business, you would put that into your overall business description. After the description, you would move into what's called a situational analysis of your business. And this details all of the context for your marketing efforts. It takes a close look at all of the internal factors and external factors that can influence your marketing strategy. So that's things like changes at the business or target customers. It might be the socio-political climate. It could be all new technology that was added to the business. So there's different things that that may impact internally or externally how your business is going to market and do the things it does. COVID, for example, was a major external factor. So many companies in their situational analysis will do what's called a SWOT analysis. And this is a business technique that's used anytime you analyze how a business is operating, or really there's no limit to the number of things you can do a SWOT on. And what SWOT stands for is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And here you would put down all of the business's strengths. You'd follow that by its weaknesses. You would follow that by the opportunities that lie ahead and the threats to being successful. And you are looking in these cases at both those external in the community items, as well as internal, whatever may be going on locally within the business. So next, you're going to look at marketing goals and business objectives. So the marketing goals will tie into your overall business objectives. However, focus only on the parts of the business that marketing can influence. So for example, company objective, increase repeat business revenue by 15%. So your related marketing goal is create a reward program. So oftentimes you'll see companies that have a card that looks a lot like a gift card or a credit card. And every time you are, they spend money, it earns them points. And at a certain level with the points, they can cash that in for either a gift, a discount, or a free item. So you might ensure that 10% of the current customers on the mailing list sign up for the reward program over the first 2 quarters of the year. So this section is also referred to as the challenge. And that is because it tackles the marketing goals that the plan is going to take on and the challenges that it is going to seek to conquer. Next is the target market. This is what we spoke of earlier, and it is one of the most important aspects of marketing. As I have here, it's unrealistic to plan to attract everyone. So you have to identify your ideal customer. What do they like? What do they not like? Where are they located? When are they able to come shop with your company? Being specific about your target market and segmenting them into smaller groups so that you can target them with particular promotions that are going to speak to them can help you to determine the types of tactics to use and how you can allocate your resources, your dollars, to best reach them. And then you have the distribution and delivery plan for your marketing plan. And this is your business's outline on how it will sell and deliver products or services to the customers. So some examples I have here, it's wholesale, retail, online, direct to business, direct to home. So that helps to define the type of company that you are. If you're a B2B company, then your client is other businesses, your potential clients. If you are a B2C, that's business to customer, you are dealing direct with the customers. Are you dealing with them online? Do they walk into a brick and mortar store? Are you shipping directly to home? Are you coming to the home to do the business? So that's how you're going to help to define the delivery of your products or services. We talked about the unique selling proposition, and that would be the next piece of the plan. And that is going to define how will your business gain a competitive edge within the marketplace. So what are the benefits of doing business with your company? And the tactics and strategies that go along with that are the actions that you're going to take to achieve the goals and the objectives that we've been speaking of. So I mentioned a reward program. So you might send personalized invitations to all of your current customers via email. You have identified this group as your target market, and so you want to send an outbound email to them that will have in the email a link that will take them right to the sign up page on your website. And within the email, and specifically where they're going to land on the website, you're going to have all of the different benefits of becoming a member of the reward program. So you are further enticing them and getting them to take the action that you need them to take. Your messaging is absolutely critical. It defines who you are in the marketplace. So your strong messaging is going to position you and your business within that marketplace. It's going to help your business stand out. It's going to help show how your business has value to potential customers and to current customers so that they want to keep coming back. And it's going to help you to reach specific audiences. So you have general messaging guidelines and then very specific ones for certain particular campaigns or efforts. And you want to make sure that all of those guidelines are in your plan so that if you hire someone new and they're going to be working, they understand what those messaging guidelines look like. Next is your budget. This is always the one that everyone hates. You figure out how much this is going to cost. And so that becomes the budget, is how much is needed to execute the marketing plan as you have written and presented it. And it may be that you have to prioritize and do certain tactics and certain campaigns first, and then a second priority, and then let's say a third priority, or you have to scale them down so that perhaps they're a little less expansive so that they are a little more affordable. Or you have to look at other aspects of the business and say, no, this is really important. I need to allocate X amount of dollars to cover what I have written in this plan. And then, of course, you need to have monitoring, tracking, evaluation tools. So these are the different metrics that are going to be used to track the performance of each individual tactic as well as the overall plan. So you're going to say, okay, our plan was successful. We met all of these goals. However, you might find that certain tactics were extremely successful for what you're doing, and some of them weren't successful at all. Then you modify and say, well, if this is not successful for us, we're going to pull that. We're not going to do that again right now. But this one was so successful that we're going to look to expand that and enhance that. So some key takeaways for you for writing your plan. You need to understand that a marketing plan is a critical part of your overall business plan, because otherwise you become the best kept secret. You need people to know about what you're doing, and you need it to help draw customers into you. It should focus on your business's target audience. So rather than just the whole community at large, is this amorphous, enormous pool of potential customers, but it makes it very hard to reach those customers. Narrowing down to a specific target audience is going to help you talk to them more specifically, and that should help you be more successful. Your marketing plan is going to help you to guide all of the marketing efforts that you undertake each year. So for example, if you've determined for your business, it is not as successful for you to advertise in local papers, it isn't working for you. Okay, you have that in your plan. You have what is working for you, and that's where you're going to direct your dollars. So now if they run a promo for you to have a local paper ad, rather than gutturally going, oh, there's a sale, I should tap into that. You have to say, no, I thought this through. This wasn't a top priority for me. Or perhaps it was a priority for you. And now that there is a promotion, you can expand to hit the full realm of your target audience. So you have to look and assess what your marketing plan is guiding you toward, and then not just shoot from the hip. You have to follow that plan towards success. You need to make sure that your marketing plan is in sync with your overall goals and the overall plans that you have for your business, so that it's not steering you away from what you've already set as your goals. They should really work harmoniously. Next is to ensure you have all the necessary information fingertip ready before you sit down to write. That's why all that prep work that I showed you at the front end, that's going to help you to sit down and be able to focus when you write. This is not the easiest thing to write because there are so many options at your fingertips, but having who your target market is, having who your competition is, excuse me, all of those things that I talked about, if that's sitting there and ready for you, then you can sit down and begin to write, and do so with a focused, clear mind. And like I said before, include timelines for each campaign so that as you go forward, you'll be able to assess and make sure that you are on target. Another page is worth here. We have assess your plan for any practical stumbling blocks. If you have campaigns that require 5 people to execute them and you're a one-person show, that's a stumbling block. You need to refocus and rewrite that in a way that you can execute it. And perhaps it can't all be done. Maybe you list things in priority, but you want to make sure that you're looking at any real practical stumbling blocks that you're going to hit and modify it so that what you're setting down can be achievable for you. And what I suggest is you break down the plan by first your strategies, then your tactics, how they're going to reach the goals, in what time frame, and for what cost, and the metrics that you're going to use to evaluate to ensure success, and how all of this effort blends into your company's overall plan. Next, I suggest you start small. Baby steps, small wins, they're still wins. They're still propelling you forward. Baby steps become bigger steps. Small wins become bigger wins, and they will move you down the road so that you can achieve what you have in your mind's eye for your business. Next, consider collaborative efforts. If there's another local business that you can partner with on a particular effort, so that from both a capacity perspective, you have more hands that are able to enact the effort, as well as 2 companies' budgets that maybe come together and work collaboratively, that can be a way to achieve a particular goal and reach a wider market. And then last but not least, be patient with yourself. This is new, and this does take a little bit of getting used to of a process and how to do it, and understanding that none of this is one and done, that your plan for 2021 rolls into your plan for 2022 and 23 and onward, because you need to continuously cultivate new clients and work with and maintain the relationships with your current clients, so that you're not bringing new ones in as others are walking out the door. You want to maintain and bring in new so that your company can grow. And so I would open it up to questions and answers for you. Before I turn off the screen share, I wanted to provide you with my contact information. If you have questions that you don't want to ask publicly, or if you think of something after the webinar is done, you can reach me. My email is tammy@lafuerzacdc.org, and my phone number is here. And again, I'm the Director of Development and Marketing, the consultant to La Fuerza CDC, and I hope this presentation was helpful for you. And with that, I would like to open it up for questions.
Hi, everyone. This isn't a question so much as just a reminder. The programs for these webinars, which is the series, are actually going to be on the Port Washington's YouTube page. So if you missed a piece, you can catch the recording. It should be up in a couple of days or so, I would say. And if you missed the previous presentations, they're also there too. So I just wanted to let you know that. Have a great night.
Thank you, Leah. So can I answer any questions for anybody? No questions at all. I do want to point out that much like your business plan, you have two kinds of documents. You have static documents and dynamic documents. A static document you write once and it's capturing a moment in time. A dynamic document grows and changes with the business. When you wrote your business plan, that is a dynamic document that should be checked and modified, tweaked, and as you go along to make sure that it is continuing to guide you and grow your business. The same holds true for your marketing plan, because you might put down 10 different tactics that you think you can try for your business. But if one of them does not work, you tried it a couple of times, it really was not successful. Okay, you might want to eliminate it or bring it down to something that's really the back burner option for you. So put that into the plan, that whatever type of tactic that was, it wasn't really for you. Or as your business is growing, maybe some of the target market changes, those things get modified in your plan so that your plan grows with you and your business continues to grow. And we have a comment down here. Thank you so much, Olga. I appreciate your thoughts. If anyone has any questions, though, please feel free to ask, because we still have a couple of minutes. But if you don't have any questions, like I said, you can always follow up with some post-webinar questions. Like, you can email me or call. What I'm hoping that you're starting to see, because I see a lot of names that are repeats from prior classes, that your social media, your webinar, your marketing plan, your email marketing, all of these things are all interwoven. They are all overall the different pieces of your marketing puzzle, your advertising puzzle, so that if you put them all together, it creates all of the different marketing efforts that you can enact for your business so that your business can grow. And what I say in each of these is, don't try and take on too much initially. Try and start small. So when you even write your first marketing plan, you don't necessarily have to write it that you're going to cover absolutely everything. If you know that your capacity is more limited because you're a one-person operation and it's going to be you doing this, well, then have very realistic expectations of what it is that you're going to be able to execute and achieve. And then as you grow, perhaps you go forward. Now you have a new staff person, and then you have a little bit more capacity and you can put a little more time into it. So then your efforts can get larger and larger as you have more capability to do it. So keep those things in mind as you go. Okay. Well, I thank you all so much for joining this evening. I hope the program was helpful to you and that you were able to glean some information for considering your first marketing plan. It is really an important tool for your business. Marketing, unfortunately, if you don't have a plan, becomes a bit of a shoot from the hip kind of effort, and that's strategically not going to help you grow in the way that any business owner wants to see their business grow. So try to be planful, try to have that plan, because it's going to help guide you and it will help you make decisions once that plan is written. And with that, I thank you all. Have a great night.